Welcome, everyone, to the podcast Just About the Universe, where we explore the biggest questions about human origins and the cosmos. Today, we will delve deep into the topic, where do humans come from? An age-old question that has perplexed humanity, but also motivated us to seek answers relentlessly. From Darwin's theory of evolution to hypotheses about extraterrestrial origins, and even the intervention of higher beings, we will uncover layer by layer, with scientific evidence, historical anecdotes, and the latest discoveries. Join me as we embark on this long journey with detailed content for you to ponder deeply. We will analyze every aspect, from scientific critiques to alternative theories, to provide a comprehensive view. First, let's travel back in time to the 19th century, when Charles Darwin published his theory of evolution in the book On the Origin of Species in 1859. Darwin argued that all organisms on Earth evolved from simple forms of life through the process of natural selection. This idea revolutionized how we view the biological world, becoming the foundation of modern biology. However, from the very beginning, the theory of evolution faced significant criticisms. Darwin himself admitted in his book that the absence of missing links, that is, intermediate fossils between species, was the most serious objection to his theory. More than 150 years later, science still hasn't found complete chains of these links. For example, between fish and amphibians, or between apes and humans, we only have scattered fragments, not a smooth evolutionary chain. Critics argue that if evolution occurred gradually as Darwin described, the fossil record should be flooded with intermediate forms, but in reality the fossil history shows large gaps, where new species appear suddenly without transitional traces. Some scientists like Stephen Jay Gould proposed the theory of punctuated equilibrium, evolution occurring in short bursts interspersed with long periods of stability, to explain this. But even so, many questions remain. How do we explain the complexity of organs like the human eye or brain without viable intermediate steps? And why, despite modern technology like DNA analysis, do we still lack convincing evidence for transitions between major species? Let's dive deeper into specific criticisms. One of the biggest issues is the missing links problem. Darwin worried that fossils didn't support his theory, and in fact, after more than a century, the gaps still exist. For example, in an article from the Institute for Creation Research, ICR, they argue that we cannot identify ancestors or missing links, and cannot design testable theories to explain how specific evolutionary events occurred. A study from PubMed discusses the missing links issue from past to present, noting that the problem of links and phylogenies at the species and genus level has lessened over the past 120 years, but is still not fully resolved. On Quora, many criticize that the main flaw is Darwin, and his contemporaries not understanding how variations are maintained in populations. Darwin described the lack of missing links as the most serious objection in an article on evolution, education, and outreach. On Reddit, a user argues that Darwin made false assumptions based on observations, claiming that over long periods species evolve from one type of animal to another completely different one. The University of Tasmania discusses discovering the missing link in Darwin's theory of evolution, where he couldn't explain why there are periods of significant growth and periods of little evolution. New research from phys.org shows that recent evolutionary studies reject the theory of living missing links, because evolution is not a steady march toward more sophisticated organisms. On Reddit, users discuss the real weaknesses of evolution theory, noting that it can make strong interpolation predictions but not strict extrapolations. Christian Courier emphasizes that Darwin admitted the lack of transitional fossils is the most serious objection. William Sites discusses the dark side of Darwinism, noting that Darwin's theory has racist elements. New research from SciTech Daily shows that Darwin's fear was unwarranted, as the fossil record is incomplete, but allows effective reconstruction of evolutionary history. Answers in Genesis discusses Schlitzie the Missing Link and early Darwinian sideshow programs. Wikipedia on objections to evolution notes that critics claim evolution is just a theory, emphasizing that scientific theories are never absolute. Pennis addresses Darwin's dilemma with the discovery of the missing Precambrian record of life. Catholic culture examines evolution, the missing link, providing a history of evolutionary thought and explaining the theory. NCSE argues that transitional fossils are not rare. Answers in Genesis provides evidence against evolution, arguing that evolution cannot occur based on scientific observations. Live Science defends Darwin's theory as one of the most solid theories. The Darwin Project lists 6 things Darwin never said. YouTube has mathematical challenges to Darwin's theory. Nevertheless, modern science still regards evolution as the foundation for human origins. But if we look deeper, are we overlooking other possibilities? Let's think about the human body, a masterpiece of intricacy. From cell structure to the immune system, everything is so perfect that it's hard to believe it's a product of randomness. This reminds me of a famous anecdote between 2 great scientists, Isaac Newton and Edmund Halley. Halley, famous for calculating the orbit of Halley's Comet, was Newton's close friend but an atheist. One day, Halley visited Newton and saw an exquisite model of the solar system that Newton had crafted. At the center was a gold-plated sun, with planets orbiting harmoniously with just a crank pull. Halley admired it and asked, "Who created this wonderful model?" Newton replied, "No one. It was just random materials colliding to form it." Halley vehemently objected, insisting that a genius must have made it. At that moment, Newton patted his friend's shoulder and said, "This model, though intricate, is nothing compared to the real solar system. If you believe someone created it, then the solar system, which is hundreds of millions of times more complex, must surely have been created by an omnipotent God." Halley suddenly awakened and began to believe in the existence of God. This story is not just a philosophical argument, but reflects the views of many scientists. The universe and life are too perfect to be products of chance. If a monkey played the piano randomly for millions of years, could it play Beethoven's symphony? Modern science sometimes applies similar logic to human origins, viewing life as a result of probability. But that probability is so small it's almost impossible. Now let's move to newer hypotheses. In the book Humans Are Not From Earth, by Dr. Ellis Silver, an American ecologist, he argues that humans did not evolve on Earth. Silver points out a series of biological weaknesses, proving we don't belong to this planet. First, humans are too fragile in Earth's environment. We get sunburned after just a few hours in the sun, while other species like lizards can bask all day without issue. Silver suggests our skin was designed for a planet with a thicker ozone layer or less UV radiation. Next, chronic back pain, a common issue in modern humans. Silver claims this is because we evolved in a place with lower gravity than Earth, so our spines haven't fully adapted. Then there's the size of newborns' heads. The baby's head is too large for the mother's pelvis, leading to difficult births, even death, something rare in other animal species. Silver compares, if we evolved naturally on Earth, why isn't our body more optimized? Another interesting point. The human biological clock seems designed for a 25-hour day, not Earth's 24 hours. Studies show that when isolated from sunlight, our sleep-wake cycle extends to 25 hours. Additionally, Humans suffer from many chronic diseases like diabetes, cancer, and allergies, much higher than other species. We also don't adapt well to wild foods. Many natural plants are toxic to us, while animals eat them without harm. Silver concludes, humans may be immigrants from another planet, brought here by an advanced civilization. He even suggests the original planet might have lower gravity, longer days, and less UV. This sounds like science fiction, but it explains why we feel out of place on Earth. As Silver says, many people feel Earth is not their home. Let's expand on Silver's book. In a summary from Sabrief, the main argument is that humans did not evolve on Earth, but were brought from another planet. On Reddit, users discuss the book, noting that Silver encourages proving and disproving the theory. LinkedIn reviews the book, stating that evidence suggests humans are not native to Earth. New Age Islam quotes the book, questioning how we got here and if we are aliens. Short Form provides a PDF summary, discussing hypotheses about the original planet's characteristics. Goodreads describes the book as examining evidence around us. Quora asks if you agree with Silver that we were placed here by aliens. Barnes & Noble and Amazon sell the book, emphasizing Silver's exploration. Short Form summarizes, presenting an alternative theory. Quora discusses Silver's purpose, noting he selects evidence for his hypothesis. Sobrief describes Silver as garnering attention in conspiracy circles. Alien Element quotes the book, claiming aliens placed humans here recently. YouTube has a podcast summarizing the book. Script reviews pointing out physiological traits as evidence. To support this hypothesis, let's look at DNA. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, PNAS, shows that about 8% of human DNA is from ancient viruses, genetic code segments extraterrestrial, in the sense not from local evolution. These are endogenous retroviruses, possibly from space via panspermia, the theory that life spreads through meteorites. Some scientists even suspect they contain cosmic information we haven't decoded yet. Though not alien DNA like in Hollywood movies, it suggests our origins are more complex than we think. Now, let's explore panspermia in more detail. Panspermia is the hypothesis that seeds of life exist throughout the universe and can spread through space. There are 3 stages: escape from a planet, transit through interplanetary space, and landing on another planet. Science Direct defines panspermia as the hypothesis that seeds of life spread through space. EBSCO explains that panspermia proposes life on Earth came from microorganisms or precursors from space. Astrobiology discusses material-based panspermia, the potential of polymer gels. Azo Life Sciences explains the hypothesis proposing life came to Earth from space via comets or meteorites. Reddit discusses panspermia as the theory that life didn't develop on Earth but came from space. Paleo Electronica links Mars, panspermia, and the origin of life. Astronomy.com explains panspermia suggests seeds of life already existed in the universe and came to Earth. Sky at Night magazine defines panspermia as the theory that life was brought by meteorites, comets, or asteroids. Now, let's talk about extraterrestrials and UFOs. In recent years, thousands of UFO reports have astonished the scientific community. These objects appear and disappear without a trace, surpassing human technology by hundreds of times. For example, US pilots report UFOs moving at supersonic speeds without sonic booms, or changing direction abruptly without inertial forces. The Pentagon even acknowledges concerns about technical supremacy from extraterrestrials. But despite their superior technology, alien bodies seem less perfect than humans. According to some reports, they are frail and dependent on technology. Let's examine recent UFO reports in 2025. NewsNation reports over 2,000 UFO sightings in the first half of 2025. YouTube explores ancient theories about time travelers among us. Another YouTube discusses the evolution of UFO and alien conspiracy theories globally. GSDVS explores the latest UFO phenomena in 2025. IFL Science notes, the number of people believing aliens have visited us is increasing. Nature examines expert figures in alien-related UFO conspiracy theories. ETV Bharat explores World Contact Day 2025 with war, chaos, and multiple UFO sightings. YouTube has Da Vinci's hidden alien messages decoded. TikTok explores the clearest UFO footage in 2025. SCMP provides the latest news on UFOs and extraterrestrial life. YouTube has the top 5 UFO sightings that shock the world for World UFO Day 2025. Britannica provides history, sightings, and facts about UFOs. Science Focus lists UFOs that scientists think are real but can't explain. Science News notes scientists getting serious about UFOs. Wikipedia on UFO conspiracy theories links cover-ups with abductions and more. YouTube has the God vs. UFOs documentary. Live now from Fox notes, aliens may be living among us disguised as humans, according to Harvard. Reddit debates if all alien sightings are fake. NewsNation discusses a hidden UFO civilization could be on Earth. Pennsylvania State University examines a book on the history of UFOs. An interesting story from China. The old monk Huang Yusheng, who practiced from a young age in Jinan, Shandong. After achieving enlightened wisdom, he communicated with an extraterrestrial being coded a K5T. According to him, hundreds of millions of years ago, Earth was the home of aliens with advanced technology, but the environment was harsh, without oceans or flora and fauna. Then a major event occurred. A loud explosion shook the heavens, 7 colored auras, and higher beings, like gods, appeared. They relocated all aliens to another planet with just a wave of the hand. After that, Earth was remodeled, with oceans, plants, animals, and humans became the new masters. Here's the English translation of your text, keeping the academic and philosophical tone. The limitations of human awareness of the truth of human origin. Human awareness of the truth about the origins of mankind across nations of the world remains limited. At present, researchers do not yet fully understand the relationship between writing and speech in linguistics, nor do they properly grasp many related concepts such as origin, truth, humankind, development. They also lack clarity regarding the connection between climate and human existence. Environments that are excessively hot are linked with the fact that humans did not originate and could not develop there. Excessively cold environments are linked with the fact that humans had not yet originated and had not yet developed there, while temperate environments are associated with the truth that humans did originate and develop. This limited awareness of the truth of human origin has led researchers to fail to distinguish clearly the relationship between the unreal nature of the phenomenon of vitality, in which the individual human neither originates nor develops in the future, the not yet real essence of the entity of life, in which collective humanity had not yet originated and had not yet developed in the past, and the real truth of the actuality of life, in which human society originates and develops in the present. This can be modeled as past, life not yet originated, not yet developed; present, life originated and developed; future, vitality neither originated nor developed. In other words, researchers failed to distinguish between the not yet real essence of life, the unreal nature of vitality, and the real truth of actual human life. This aligns with what Einstein once remarked shortly before his death: "I want to go when I want. Prolonging life artificially is tasteless." This limited awareness of the truth of human origin also leads to misunderstanding of the causes behind phenomena such as the Earth spinning faster, whether this results from surface warming or signals the onset of a new global heating era caused by humanity's uncultured impact. making global average temperature temporarily exceed the threshold of 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. It also prevents researchers from answering the question, "Who am I?" leaving humanity for many years to live in darkness and ignorance, in greed, hatred and cruelty, in violence, war, destruction of the environment, and harm to one another. This limited awareness of the truth of human origin has resulted in errors such as the theory of struggle for survival, the strong over the weak in Darwin's theory of evolution, in the mistaken belief of some researchers that humans on Earth originated from another world in the universe, and in persistent disputes over whether human evolution began in Africa. To correctly perceive the truth of human origin, it is necessary to fully understand the truth of the word human, a term that encompasses its essential aspects as follows. The form of human corresponds with the unreal nature of the phenomenon of individual vitality within society. The content of human corresponds with the not yet real essence of the entity of life, of groups within nature. The key principle of human corresponds with the real truth of the actuality of life of individuals, groups, communities, and nations within human society. This can be modeled as the not yet real essence of group life in nature, the real truth of actual life of individuals, groups, and communities of nations in human society, the unreal nature of the phenomenon of individual vitality within society. In other words, correct awareness of the truth of human origin is inseparable from a clear understanding of the truth of the word human. Humanity is inseparable from truth. Without understanding the truth of the word human, one cannot truly recognize the truth of human origin. Aliens, despite advanced technology, still covet humans' cultivation abilities, achieving immortality without machines. They study humans, even abducting for experiments, but cannot replicate the perfect mechanisms of our bodies. Because humans were created by gods, with flexible natures and the ability to cultivate mind and body, to transcend birth, aging, sickness, and death. Aliens realize that their science, even when given to humans, like atomic bombs, only leads to self-destruction. So they stopped sharing and monitor us like cosmic police. In summary, whether from scientific, theological, or extraterrestrial hypotheses, human origins remain a great mystery. Perhaps we're not random products of Earth, but masterpieces of a higher intelligence. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more episodes.